It is now my particular pleasure and honor to introduce to you our commencement speaker today, Lee Stein. Please give him a warm welcome.
Thank you all for inviting me to join you today. It is a great honor. As I began to prepare for this moment, I asked myself the question, is the world coming to an end, and should we talk about that? Are the predictions of environmental catastrophe the thing that we should talk about? Or should we focus on the vast new emerging entrepreneurial eco-opportunities that exist today? But as Charlie Rose has said, commencement begins the phase of the journey where each of you will begin to tell the greatest story you will ever tell. It's the story of your life. I personally believe that today begins the phase of your journey where you are now the undisputed CEO of your life. You see, as the CEO of your life, you get to write the script. I did not want to focus on environmental calamities or some follow your dreams comments. Why waste time on that? Today, I would like to focus on you being the CEO of your life. As such, we need to first focus on time. Time is a funny thing. One of your professors told me a story about the honeybee, the moral of which was that to the honeybee, time meant honey. From my personal perspective, time is everything, but not the way our corporate world has conditioned us. I stand before you today known as a serial entrepreneur and as an environmentalist. I have had a remarkable journey. Entrepreneurial opportunities abound, but the story I started writing at my commencement took a detour. I have had the rare pleasure to engage with time due to a medical situation that I would like to share with you today. I was faced with a life-threatening situation in 1991, which can be found in the Journal of Surgical Neurology, the May 1997 edition. I had a cerebral aneurysm. Blood leaked from my post-communicating artery into my cerebral spinal fluid. Not good. I was on the table at the Scripps Clinic in La Jolla, and the doctors decided that it was safer to stop the procedure. Oddly, they felt that I had more risk if they proceeded. The interesting part of the story was that they gave me odds, sort of an 85% chance of a morbid or mortal outcome at any given second. This was the single greatest experience of my life. I would not wish it on anyone, but I cherish the experience and the lessons learned. What do you do if you know on the one hand that you are perfectly healthy and in the other hand that you can die in the very next second, face to face with time? I realized that every single thought and action mattered. There was no longer time for lessons to be learned for the future. Immediately, I adopted the attitude that my life was not a dress rehearsal. My wife and I took time to do a formal ceremony to say goodbye to each other. I held my kids. The exercise of taking time to say goodbye and reviewing how I had behaved, how others had treated me, was quite spiritual. I learned to live in the moment. Once I recuperated from the nerve damage, I slowly began to engage in the real world. But whenever I spoke to someone, I found myself wondering, if I were to die in the next second, would I really want to spend this last moment with this person? If not, I would politely as possible just end the conversation, sometimes mid-sentence. I never viewed it as judgmental. It was just reality. The quality of time mattered most. So knowing that each second was precious, for real, not some slogan on a poster, I made sure that I protected my time. I learned to become the CEO of my life. It became a great habit. Protect the quality of your time and treat each moment with integrity. Treat each moment as your last. It was a very powerful life lesson for real. My aneurysm experience was a great gift. I applied a simple ratio to life, which applies to radio waves. Signal to noise ratio. How clear was the signal and how much noise was in any given conversation? Was the relation frictionless or was there a drama queen acting out? I could notice people who confused motion and progress. At first, I refused to deal with any motion. I wanted pure signal. I wanted only to be connected to great attitudes. Attitudes determine signal. But in talking about attitude, I'd like to take a moment to talk about shoes. Oddly, one of the least environmental products on earth. That's right, shoes. A shoe company sent 2 executives to 2 different regions of Africa to evaluate the potential market. Upon their arrival, the CEO received 2 emails. The first executive wrote, "Arrive safely, big problem, nobody wears shoes." The second executive wrote, "Arrive safely, huge opportunity, everybody needs shoes." So I ask you, as a CEO of your life, which culture do you want to be part of? The culture that sees limitations or the culture that sees opportunities? Do you want to permit the circumstances to define you, or do you want to be in charge and be the one who defines your own circumstances? And as the CEO of your life, you get to define the mental culture that you want to live with. But realize there's more to this journey than financial success. International investor Steve Gilbert makes it a point to remind us, you can never be happier than your least happy child. He says, you may have to be a husband, wife, father, mother, a son, daughter, or nursemaid during your lifetime. If you fail at any of these jobs, your financial success will be meaningless. My rule was never to miss a kid's birthday and never to miss a kid's significant sports event. This has served me well. I made a really serious mistake once trying to honor that rule. In the early days of my career, I was so excited to be asked to be a keynote speaker at an international technology conference in Berlin that I accepted without checking plane schedules. When I started to book my flights, I found that to get there in time, I would have to miss my son's birthday. I called the organizer, Alex View, to cancel. I will forever be grateful to him. After being quite frustrated with me and telling that the materials had been printed and circulated, he paused and said, bring your son to Berlin with you.